I'm Latoya Burrows, and this is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Coming up in the news, pastoral couples seek to be transformed by His Spirit, visiting choir ministers in the Bahamas, and Fun Run Walk climaxes 8 Weeks to Wellness initiative. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. I'm Latoya Burrows. Thanks for joining us for your Adventist News. 17 pastors and their spouses from the South Bahamas Conference traveled to Grand Bahama this past weekend from April 19th to the 21st to retool, reflect, and relax as they gathered under the theme, Transformed by His Spirit, Fulfilling the Call. The ministerial couples were joined by their colleagues from the Adventist conferences in the Turks and Caicos Islands, Cayman Islands, and the North Bahamas at this retreat organized by the Atlantic Caribbean Union. Leading the delegation from the South Bahamas Conference was Pastor Kenny DeVoe, President, and Pastor T. Basil Stirrup, Ministerial Director. The weekend provided pastors and their spouses with an array of relevant seminars, question and answer segments, and a time for fellowship. The main presenters were Pastor Nathaniel Garcia and his wife Vanessa Garcia. The couple interacted on matters of ministry and encouraged the ministers to seek God in all things. Other visiting presenters included Dr. Leonard A. Johnson and Elder Josney Rodriguez, Executive Secretary and Ministerial Director of the Inter-American Division, respectively, along with Dr. Ivan Williams, Ministerial Director for the North American Division, and Pastor Gregory Mack, President for the Southeastern Conference in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Leading the delegation from the Atlantic Caribbean Union was Pastor Peter Carr, President, and Pastor Michael Smith, Ministerial Director. The ATQ retreat was hosted in beautiful Grand Bahama by the North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. The Georgia Cumberland Academy Camerata visited the Bahamas last week. This institution is a Seventh-day Adventist boarding high school located in northwest Georgia. The touring choir comprises solely of youth who attend the academy from grades 9 to 12. The choir commenced their tour in the Bahamas on Long Island, where they ministered to the people of the island and assisted the community by working at the Mangrove Bush Primary School. They had an eventful time in Nassau, where the group also ministered through music. The choir visited a number of our churches in the nation's capital, ministering to their congregations, and a benefit concert was held in aid of the building fund of the Living Faith Adventist Church Community Center. Even though the group is comprised of youth and they are well trained in the area of music, they possess a mission to touch lives through their outreach ministry. The choir's director said, the objective of their trip was to be seed planters in God's garden. The choir was extremely happy and grateful to have had the opportunity to come and minister to our nation's capital once again, in the hope of bringing persons they encountered closer to God. The choir trip to the Bahamas is now an annual event. In the wee hours of the morning, the Health Ministries Department of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists concluded its 8-week to wellness campaign with a family fun run walk. The participants started with a range of stretches and warm-up exercises in order to prepare for the race. The individuals who participated in the walk were assigned the route from Arawaki to Goodman's Bay, while the sports enthusiasts among them ran from Arawaki to Bahama Boulevard and back. At Arawaki, where the race climaxed, the Adventist Laymen's and Service Industries ASI team provided refreshments and offered a vegetarian breakfast for all. The 8 Weeks to Wellness program is an annual initiative hosted by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the South Bahamas to lead persons in our communities into a healthier lifestyle. When we come back, we'll have more on the upcoming events in our conference.
Get ready for summer fun in Jamni Kingdom. At this Vacation Bible School, kids will have fun learning how we are all a part of God's big family while begin and end each day at VBS with songs, skits, and Bible pals at Indava Place. Discover a new Bible story each day at Habari Hut. And connect with God through prayer at Ekpede Experience. Play energetic games that reinforce each day's Bible lesson at Furaha Field. Enjoy healthy snacks that taste great at Mapera Meza. Show your creative side by making crafts at Sanaa site. Kids will love all this and more at Jamii Kingdom VBS.
Welcome back to your Adventist News. Harmonious Praise and Friends presents a celebration of praise under the theme, I'm in love with Jesus and He's in love with me, on Saturday, April 27th, 2019, at the Good News Church in Flamingo Gardens at 10:30 a.m. It promises to be an unforgettable worship experience, so come and join in the praise. The Hillview Church will be celebrating 30 years of ministry in grand style. Among the events being held from April 20th to the 28th is an all-day celebration on the 27th with Pastor Wintley Phipps. Pastor Phipps will speak on the 27th of April, and a concert will be held at 5:30 p.m. The church will end their celebrations with a gala banquet on the 28th at the British Colonial Hilton. The Children and Adolescent Ministries Department will be having a retreat under the theme Treasure Hunt, Finding All You Need in Jesus. Children, you don't want to miss this time of spiritual enrichment, adventure, and fun to be held at the Adventure Learning Center campgrounds from June 7th to 9th, 2019. The children will participate in spiritual interactive lessons, campfire sing-alongs, adventure time, games, and more. You are encouraged to register your children ages 7 to 15 by April 30th through your local charmed leaders for early bird rates. Also, during June 7th through 9th, the youth of our conference ages 16 to 35 will be in retreat under the theme The Fantastic Four, Family, Friends, Foe, and Feelings at the New Providence Community Center on Blake Road. Guest speaker for this Ignite Youth Retreat is Pastor Anthony Bolden from Chicago, Illinois. Registration continues until May 22nd, so youth, inquire about this today. The ASI Convention for the Inter-American Division will take place on August 21st through the 24th, 2019 at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island. Registration is already in progress. For more information, please call 556-0492. For more information on these events and more, visit the conference website at www.southbahamasconference.org, where you can view the news as well as other programming, read the weekly logos, or please feel free to call our headquarters at 242-341-4021.
In the right side of the abdomen is where you find the gallbladder. The gallbladder is pear-shaped and is located under the liver. Its function is to store and concentrate bile, which is a yellow-brown digestive enzyme produced by the liver. The function of bile is to break down fats in your intestines and to allow food to be absorbed into the bloodstream. Gallstones is an issue that can be faced by the gallbladder, occurring when cholesterol and other substances from hardened deposits in the gallbladder. These gallstones are usually small, but they can grow in size and can begin to create a blockage in the channels of the gallbladder. Symptoms include vomiting, pain between shoulder blades, and pain or tenderness on the rib or on the right side. Treatment options include the removal of the gallbladder or medication which can dissolve the gallstones. WebMD says that a sensible diet is the best way to prevent gallstones. Avoid crash diets or very low intake of calories, less than 800 calories daily. Seek out good sources of fiber from raw fruits and vegetables. Cook dried beans and peas, whole grain cereals and bran, and by not eating too much fat. A high fiber, low fat diet helps keep bile cholesterol in liquid form. However, don't cut out fats abruptly or eliminate them altogether, as too little fat can also result in gallstone formation. Recent studies have shown that moderate consumption of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons a day, may actually lower your chances of developing gallstones. An ingredient in olive oil helps reduce cholesterol levels in the blood and gallbladder. Researchers have found that the incidence of gallstones is relatively low among people who live in areas where olive oil consumption is high. This has been Carl Kemp with your health tip courtesy of the Adventist television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network for our news feature from around the world.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
First in the news, the death toll in Sri Lanka has risen to more than 320, with hundreds more injured after deadly attacks by religious extremists in Colombo, Sri Lanka on April 21.
The attacks were focused on hotels and churches who were holding worship services in observance of the Easter holiday.
On Monday, the Sri Lankan president declared a conditional state of emergency, and a dusk-to-dawn curfew was in effect on Monday night in Colombo. Major social media and messaging services remain blocked by the government.
After the attacks, President of the Adventist Church, Ted N.C. Wilson, offered prayer and words of comfort to those impacted.
In a statement, Wilson said, "Our hearts go out to the grieving families of those killed in Colombo, Sri Lanka, in a terrible, senseless tragedy this morning. Churches and other areas were targeted. Let us pray for the families and for the Prince of Peace to reign in all the hearts of all, including those who perpetrated such horrific acts. They need the grace and love of God in their hearts to bring them to Christ and His forgiveness. Soon Jesus will come to take us to heaven, where there will be no more pain, suffering, or death."
The Adventist Church in the Southern Asia-Pacific region, where Sri Lanka is located, also made a statement of support after the attacks.
Their statement in part says, "The Seventh-day Adventist Church in the Southern Asia-Pacific expresses its deepest sympathies to the families and friends troubled by the horrifying incident in Colombo, Sri Lanka, on Easter Sunday, April 21st, 2019. We are one with those who grieve. As a church, we reject any form of ferocity. Our thoughts and prayers are with Sri Lanka as we invite everyone around the world to continue praying for the families whose hearts are broken. As they continue to mourn for their loss, let's pray for healing and recovery."
And to read both statements in their entirety, visit news.adventist.org.
That's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. We thank you for sharing your news stories and upcoming events with us, and we encourage you to continue by emailing them to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com or by calling our media department at 242-341-4021. For a rebroadcast of the Adventist news, please visit the conference website or on our Facebook page. On behalf of our production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, thank you for watching this week's broadcast. I'm Latoya Burrows for the SBC Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.
The Bahamas, known for its beauty, its culture, its nature, and the famous Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island, will be the host country for the Inter-American Division ASI Convention 2019 from August 21st to the 24th. There will be dynamic speakers, engaging seminars, and exhibition booths for ASI products and services. So register now and be a part of the Inter-American Division ASI Convention 2019.